Okay. Yeah. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this week's. Am I even on the platform? Yes, I am. This week, news and updates. I am Laurel.
And testing. And I'm Donna, the other host here
Yes.
at News and Updates. Mark, the brilliant producer behind this weekly Altspace VR news show, is behind the camera bot live streaming to everyone out in the metaverse and beyond.
Yay!
I have to tell you, I just had the most surreal experience. I'm sitting here, I'm waiting backstage, I'm waiting to go on, I'm listening to the music, and all of a sudden I hear two streams of music. I'm like, what is going on? Why? I thought I'm losing my mind. All of a sudden I realized my alarm clock is my phone, and my alarm clock is going off to tell me I need to get up. Good thing I didn't wait for my alarm clock today.
Good idea.
Oh my goodness.
I love it.
So yes, I do actually get up at this time sometimes, guys. So this week was a week in history. Every week seems to be like that, right? But again, we have a mark on history, and we're honoring that, as well as news from Altspace VR today.
Yes, indeed. Wow, on a sad note, the United States reached 100,000 deaths from the COVID-19, a number that reaches out to all of us. Add this to the global estimated total of 367,000 people as of today. And that is actually, they believe that is an underestimate. So it's heartbreaking. This virus impacts all of us. Communities are slowly reopening. Some are opening and unfortunately closing back down due to spikes in infections. And others are struggling to cope as new infections spread across like wildfire in communities that thought they were unaffected and uninfected.
So with numbers like these, all of us are impacted by this in some way or another, right? We know someone who has had coronavirus. Many of us have been touched by loss. Our hearts are with all in this seriously difficult time, and we aren't very thankful. And aren't we very thankful that during these past few months of self-isolation, that we can safely come together here in AltSpace. There's no bad hair days. You never have to be alone in AltSpace. But really, guys, I bet you guys have been, I know I have been, involved in conversations so often that simply talk about this fact, right? That we're so grateful that we can come together in a community, just get together and just talk. We just need to talk and air out our feelings. And it's just, AltSpace has been such a godsend to us. So grateful.
Yes, indeed. Beautifully said. Yay, beautiful hearts. On a high note, congrats to the SpaceX and to Doug and Bob as they launched successfully a couple hours ago. It's like highs and lows and highs and lows, and I mean that physically too. It was a picture perfect launch and celebrated with a huge watch party with the rocket crew, the rocket party team here in AltSpace VR, as hundreds gather here in AltSpace to watch this historical moment. This launch opens up so many possibilities for increased exploration and research on the space station, and this is indeed a moment to celebrate. So yeah!
And seriously, right, just with what we just talked about, we have to make sure that we aren't just focusing on the tragedy and life right now. We need to celebrate everything. And it literally was so exciting, right? 17,000 miles an hour, you guys. Isn't that just like blow your mind?
I can't even imagine that. You know?
I know, right?
Oh. It was so cool. And the guy didn't Doug and Bob, they make it look so easy. They just sit there. And then did you get a glance at they had a dragon. They had a sequence dragon they brought, and for just a moment it went across the camera and they showed that. That was so cool. And then they lost it because gravity was floating all over and it went out beyond their reach as they were strapped in. So that was a great moment. I loved it. Yay!
It was awesome. It was just truly exciting just to be a part of that today. So Reggie Watts, something else that's happening today. Reggie Watts continues his series of 8 Saturday night performances in AltSpace VR, partying, laughing, and really distracting us away from the wearies in the real world. There's only a few of these left, so make sure you RSVP and show up for a great time with Reggie Watts right here in AltSpace VR.
Yeah, party! All right, last week was the Microsoft Mixed Reality Dev Days conference, and this week, much of the AWE, the Augmented World Expo, was held here in AltSpace VR. There was an amazing public social hour that featured VR painting with the Sabby Life. How many did you make it to that? That was incredible. It was so amazing to watch your paint with Tilt Brush and create such amazing outer space artwork. There was also an unofficial after party here in AltSpace VR hosted by Ben and Mira and their group, with a blast of fireworks that was accompanied by music and fun light rings, hula hoops and things for the audience to play around with. That was way too much fun. And what a great way to end such a successful virtual conference. Love that.
That was awesome. Now, Hewlett-Packard made a huge announcement this week in AltSpace VR at their HP Tech Talk. They announced the new Reverb G2 headset that they feel will beat out all the other competition in the headset market. I have to say that this is on my wish list right now. A tethered device. It boosts the same 2160 by 2160 per eye displays, but they've improved the clarity of the G1 model's pixel density with the new displays and new lenses. G1 was the first to eliminate the screen door effect with its high pixel density, and the G2 takes this a step further. It offers a 90-degree flip-up face mask display to allow easier transition from VR to real world. I have to say that that's still a little bit cumbersome, right? In the devices that we have, trying to launch that, put that thing on your head, have it sit on your forehead, right? So I'm really excited about this. This announcement looks really great.
The Windows controllers on this thing are smaller and more comfortable with an improved button layout. The partial audio speakers, partial isn't the right word, but anyway, these audio speakers, they sit 10 millimeters from the ear to deepen the user immersion. I'm still nervous about the off-ear, aren't you, the audio, this little headphone pieces, because it just looks like it's just going to be a danger for having the microphone pick it up. So that kind of worries me. But this is some really amazing new technology that creates this really deep, immersive audio experience, and it supports the Microsoft Spatial Audio and HP Labs' new spatial audio format, providing likely one of the best sound experiences in this price level device. They've improved the face mask cushion for better weight distribution, and educators will love this, an optional replacement mask face gaskets for cleaning. It works with Valve, Steam VR, and Windows Mixed Reality for cross-platform compatibility. The headset is priced closer to consumer levels, but it is specifically designed for the enterprise users. So it'll be interesting to see if it serves as a bridge device for consumers wishing for a little bit more in their tethered devices. No, I still want one. Priced at $600 US, the new headset will be available in the fall. We hope. There are pre-orders starting.
Yep, so my pennies are going into a jar to be ready for this one.
We'll need a big jar.
Yeah. So back to more specific AltSpace VR news. The Alt Quiz was updated a week ago. Have you guys played with it yet? Many are loving the new trivia quiz layout, and others miss the older format created by a generous member of the community. So, have you tried it yet? Give me some emojis. Anybody around tried it? How about some hearts for those who love the new format, and sad faces for those who miss the old version? Oh, there's a cross section. Mm-hmm. So the rest of you can just smile.
That's as it should be. So do play with it. Let us know what you think. And with all things news and updates from the AltSpace VR, we report on these things in our news and updates Discord server, and we invite you to join. If you haven't already, please join us. This is where you can keep up with all the news across the community and find the YouTube streaming and all those saved video links. So you can catch up with the news without being here. You can watch us on the live stream. So check that out. But we like it better when you're here.
So now we get to talk about some world building. Oh, aren't the worlds and there's so many different aspects. I feel myself saying this about Friends, and then about like just all the different aspects of AltSpace are just really exciting. But world building is certainly one of them. So as mentioned over the past few weeks, developers are working on more improvements for mixed reality extension in AltSpace VR. Consider adding the SDK MRE meetups here in AltSpace VR to extend your world building skills. Check the events calendar and take your world building skills to the next level.
Indeed. And we love it when you share your world with us. Or you share a world you found that you want to make sure that people know about, that you just think is amazing. So please, we have a channel called Share Your World in News. It doesn't have to be your world. It can be any world. And it's just waiting for you to show off and brag. And if you do, we may feature it here in the news.
Awesome. So some highlights of worlds shared with us this past week, and a few new worlds we've discovered and rediscovered include the Overlook Maze by Scourge, based upon the maze from the movie The Shining.
Yeah.
What a wonderful tribute piece to bring into AltSpace VR, and what a fun way to spend time getting lost, just wandering around.
Yeah, that's kind of scary. I love that. Now, summer's here for many in the world, and if you aren't able to experience much of it from your self-isolation through the windows and the porches, consider the next few worlds. Mr. Prime's Hot Springs is a great way to spend a summer evening under the shooting stars with friends while soaking in a steaming hot thermal springs. Love that.
Oh, awesome. Can you guys feel that already? Yeah, don't leave before news and updates, but we'll get to that later. So now, also, check out the fabulous but poorly named A Water Test. It's a world by Andy, a cottage on an island powered by engines traveling through space, much like Discworld by Terry Pratchard, towing a giant hot tub along. There are wonderful spatial audio effects, especially in the hot tub, where he's added an underwater effect with a clear, what is it?
Demarcation.
Demarcation. Sorry. She told me there were no big words for me today.
Big word. I didn't know.
Oh, sorry. Especially in the hot tub, where he added an underwater effect with a clear demarcation between under and above. Stop laughing. Under and above the water line. Well done. So she's laughing at me, not him. Great example of the potential in world building, in Unity.
You know it's always with you, Donna. It's always with you, never at you. Because you spend more time laughing at me than I spend laughing with you. All right.
It's a good thing avatars don't blush. If mine was, it would be busting red right now.
No, it's all good. All right. Now, if you want to get a little hotter, consider visiting Alan Chow's Star Park. You've been there, and it's so cool.
That's burning.
It is. It is a burning sun that is boiling away, surrounded by a path of stars. And you just, when you arrive, you just walk forward. You fall down. It's beautiful. You can't fly, but you can fall. It's beautiful. Head down inside the sun to experience the sun flares within and all around the edges. You just move around, and it's beautifully done. And the sound, it's a recording directly from our sun played throughout the entire space. It is so cool. Love that.
Well, so in contrast, a world that will bring you back to the real world and the troubles within it, check out Flooded House by Mr. Vodluck. Done a year or more ago, it uses the home template in Town Kids to take a suburban home, and he floods it with the water from the nature environment featured kit with cars floating, trees and stumps, and recreates the flooding of a community. It's greater for education, but also a very imaginative way to build using featured kits in a simple but creative way.
I love it when people build worlds and they take something, you want to have an island floating in water or a house with maybe some water around it, but to actually flood a house and think that through as an experience. I love that kind of out of the box thinking in world building. That's wonderful. So now it's your turn to learn more about world building here in AltSpace VR. You have a variety of methods. There's the world building channels in the official Discord server for AltSpace. There are regular world building events with Andy Fidel of Get Social and other community helpers, including Daisy Shaw. We love her throughout the week. There are community-made videos on YouTube. There's some new ones that just came out from the community to help you through the many, many steps with working with the World Editor and with Unity. And don't forget all the support documents at help.altvr.
Now, it's fairly easy to build worlds, to build virtual worlds in AltSpace. I'll be honest, I struggle with that sentence because for people who build worlds, it's very easy. For some of us if you're like me and have tried and were unsuccessful, please don't feel like you're a failure, because it's some of the
worlds.
Things are not that easy to do. However, can I tell you what? If I can build a world, I can tell you anybody can, because I literally have I just have a lot of things going against me when it comes to building worlds. So it is, it's easy if you start really simple and just decide you're going to start with a kit or two. You're going to take those items, you're going to flip them upside down on their head or whatever. Just start with the space and start adding things. And that term, when you hear it, it's easy to build a virtual world. You'll become to understand it more because they're really, Altspace has made it very user-friendly. For some of us who don't have the creativity that Laurel or Daisy Shaw or Mr. Prime or for all those featured worlds we see, etc. However, so it's fairly easy to build virtual worlds in Altspace. The best way is to find inspiration and take one of the many world tours here in Altspace. Andy Fidel, Daisy Shaw, and the World Tours Showcase, all three of those offer inspiring tours to help motivate you about building your own dreams into virtual reality. And they are led by experienced world builders, so you can ask questions. That's the most amazing thing, you guys. So you can go in, you're side by side with world builders and with other people that build worlds, all of various levels of skill. And now you can say, oh my gosh, how did you do that? And you'll find out. Now, we remember last week we talked about the 2D, how to make a tablecloth out of 2D text. That still blows my mind. Some of the things you see are going to take longer to learn than others, but seriously, guys, just learn them one at a time, and the tours are an awesome opportunity to do just that.
It is so well said, Donna. Thank you. And on Wednesdays, the the World Tour Showcase goes a step beyond, and 2 to 3 Wednesdays a month, they tour worlds to inspire you to build on a theme or specific world, just like the workshops that are the tours that are done by Andy Fidel and the awesome Daisy Shaw. But on the second Wednesday of every month, they now offer a special tour of worlds that really starts with a custom world that offers the basics on how to build an Altspace. And in 2 weeks, they are going to be doing positioning, rotation, and scale. Last week, as Donna said, it was last month, it was looking at text. So they're going to really break that down to help you understand the real simple aspects of it. So I love that we have these world builders that are coming together to share the potential and share the possibilities of what's going on. I love it.
And I think, so, yeah, it's the positioning, right?
Mm-hmm.
The rotation, the scale, that is a little bit foreign. The words don't really, they don't mean much to me. What I find with these is if you just go with the intention of learning something, not learning it, learning something. That's how we all learn. We take a building block and we learn. And then we take the next time we hear something, we put a building block. So that is the awesome opportunity that Altspace gives us, right? So you can start that world, and as you learn things, you can add them to your own world, experiment in your own world, and there is you can't make mistakes, right? It's your own world. It's a testing world. So I just, I love that. Anyway, sorry, I will.
No, it's beautiful.
They also ask the community to recommend worlds based upon a theme. And the last Wednesday of the month, the World Tour Showcase tours worlds based on those suggestions. So last month, the monthly theme was water. There's so much to choose from. So many creative water worlds.
Oh, yeah. It was hard to narrow them down.
Yeah, I bet, right? Now, this month, it is the opposite. Oh, my gosh, it is fire. This week, they will be touring game and sports worlds. If you have any suggestions, join the Discord at discord.me/world tours. So discord.me/world tours. Or just let us know on the news and updates Discord server.
Yay!
Now we get to move to an area that's way more comfortable for me. Events. This is where my head stays many hours every week. So as mentioned, Reggie Watch is back tonight, and we have even more events scheduled this week. There's been a huge bump. Have you guys noticed this? Going through the calendar now, there is a huge bump of amazing events scheduled. And there's new events, there's some old events that are returning. So let's see how many of them we can get through before we run out of time.
Indeed. Okay. If you haven't lately, check out all the events that the LGBTQ plus and friends host every week here in AltSpace. They have their own Discord channel. They are so busy. It's wonderful. And you can find the link to it in the AltSpace VR Discord events servers channel, where you can find all of the different events, including the news and updates that have Discord channels are listed in there. And if you are starting an event and you've been running it for a few months, add it there. And the LGBTQ plus and friends celebrated their 3-year anniversary recently here in AltSpace VR. They have grown so much and do such amazing things for the community, including hosting community events. There's parties, meetups, movie nights, and many events outside of AltSpace VR. So check out their calendar and their events and their Discord.
Now, Jared has a dance festival tonight together with Evolve VR. It is a great hour to rock out with others in this after party that includes fun fireworks. Check it out and party hardy.
Yeah. Now the late tonight is for many people in the world. It'll be tonight. It'll be your afternoon or morning in other places in the world. And is the late night with Buddy, stirring things up with his great interview shows. Tonight, he's doing something different. He's interviewing Henry and Megan from the rooftop, and you don't want to miss this fun event where they stage a game to test their friendship. So that should be interesting.
Yep, always is. Never a dull moment with Buddy.
Never a dull moment. No.
Now, Real Talk is a new show happening tomorrow where the host, Fake Raven, hosts an open conversation about hypothetical and metaphysical ideas. Could be a fascinating discussion. We'd like to know more, so check it out and report in and let us know how you enjoyed that event. If you enjoyed it, invite friends to future events. There is another on Wednesday. That's how the magic works here in AltSpace VR.
It does. It does. Now, we've mentioned all the amazing churches that we have in AltSpace VR and the religious and spiritual events, including our own Donna McTee's fabulous Live Loved events throughout the week. A new church, I say that with quote marks, has arrived here in AltSpace VR, and it isn't your normal church. The Happiness Church is hosted by Frank Clayton, and it debuts next Saturday, just before the news and updates. He's hosting Gary Van Warmerdam, a 4-week self-mastery class for free right here in AltSpace VR. The event includes a discussion with videos and things from Gary on how to develop a greater. Frank has spent years teaching classes at Berkeley and in the UK and in Utah on the science of happiness and well-being and self-improvement and development. He's a licensed mental health counselor in Utah, and these are not therapy sessions. Be clear on that, but they're great opportunities to explore your own self-issues and make the world around you and yourself a better and happier place and space.
Now, another one. If you followed along with the rocket party, and I hope most of you did, this is it's just
amazing.
The space exploration is an exciting frontier, and just getting the up close and personal thing that we get to experience, right? Different from 20 years ago, where now we can literally just feel like we're right a part of it. The SpaceX launch tomorrow will be showing the docking of the Dragon 2 with the International Space Station. So they've lifted off, they're moving at lightning speed, and it will be interesting to see them dock at the station. So we're so excited that this has been a safe and successful launch so far, and can't wait to be part of history as access to the International Space Station expands. This really is a historical moment that someday you'll say, I remember when.
No kidding. And I'm so thrilled. It's been so long since this event, since this happened, out of the United States. And it's lovely to see young people be excited about this again and be excited about the potential of this. And I do hope that you are, because this is game changing. I keep thinking, I thought this even when I was a kid. We need to get off this planet because this planet is the only one we have right now. And if something happens to it, man, we need to make sure that we're off of it so we can continue going and continue the magic of what human beings really are. So let's get out there. Okay, I've been influenced too much by Star Trek. All right. I live in a Star Trek fantasy world. Now, we love all of the language learning and the conversations that happen here in AltSpace in all the variety of languages. We want to highlight this week Michael McDonald. He continues his ongoing Learn English in VR classes throughout the week here in AltSpace and Engage. He's providing non-English speakers an opportunity to work on their conversational English in fun and inventive ways. It is really, if you're a teacher, attend those and just keep quiet and just watch and soak it in. He's really, really fun to watch in action. And if you are fluent in English and you choose to attend, please be supportive and respectful of the others at these events. As attendees are often nervous experimenting with their new English. And I have to tell you, somebody who's lived in non-English worlds and places, countries and places around the world, having that confidence to actually speak in another language that you're really, really scared about it's just nerve-wracking. So please be respectful, because we really want to help people here to embrace whatever language that they're working on. So I love that.
Now, INF at SE. This is a paid 2-hour webinar and workshop themed around social engineering with some of the leaders in the niche industry. The panel includes social engineers Jenny Ratcliffe, James Litton, Sarka Pekrova, and
Yay!
Richard DeVere.
I did well.
Holy cow. Immediately after the workshop, there is a 2-hour gathering with the speakers, attendees, and the general public talking about InfoSec and social engineering. What a great opportunity to meet some of the leaders in this field and learn more about this developing research and study. So that's a great thing about AltSpace. It's not just about fun. We want you to have fun. It's also, there's so many opportunities to learn. And now with being isolated, what a great opportunity to actually take advantage of the learning opportunities.
Oh, indeed, indeed. And we have so many of them now. The VRARA Professional Association hosts their virtual conference, the VRARA Global Summit, this week, and Chuck from Health Systems Chat brings us a special event associated with this conference, as he usually does, exploring the enterprise, commercial, and educational development tools with experts in the VR and AR industry. Don't miss this on Wednesday. Tuesday. Thank you. Because also on Wednesday,
yes.
the Chicago chapter of the VRARA is hosting a public event called VR and AR, the next evolution in retail, right here in AltSpace VR. It's covering the use of immersive technology in shopping and in e-commerce. The panel will be showcasing how coronavirus has changed the retail landscape and how the commerce market is adapting to virtual technologies. There are tickets for the paid virtual conference still left. And myself and Daniel of Educators in VR will be speaking, as well as Andy Fidel of VR Scout and admin right here in AltSpace VR, and other top leaders in the VR and AR industry. So check out that conference.
And it is no joke. Retail is changing. The number of retail outlets that are closing their doors, retail and also restaurants, but retail places that are closing their doors and not reopening whenever retail places can actually become normal again. There's a lot that we've learned to love that aren't going to be there. It's sad to watch this, but the evolution, it's already had started in the retail side, so now we're going to see an explosion. So make sure to check out that to get in on the loop of how things are going to be changing.
Mm-hmm.
So as we report on all the real world events going virtual and staging them in AltSpace VR, we want to let you know that Burning Man has made AltSpace VR its home base for an amazing recreation of the real Burning Man event. How many people? Give me emojis if you guys have actually been to a Burning Man event. Now give me
my God, I feel alone. Come on.
Now
Come
give
on.
me
Is
emojis.
there anybody else? Oh, no.
Now
You're
give me
lucky,
emojis. Sorry. Now give me emojis if you have wanted to go and have never gone.
Now
The third
you
question I have
can't.
is very simple. How many know they could never spend that much time in the heat and they just want to watch it from afar? I would be in that category. However, so this world features about a dozen worlds interconnected and some innovative uses of Unity and the MRE, and is worth a visit while they finish development on it. The main world is open, and you will often see it on the popular worlds list. Make sure when you see it on the popular list to go and favorite it so that you can return to it whenever you want. Don't forget, favorite has become our friend in AltSpace. So check it out. Watch out for the people riding their bikes through the world. You may catch wind of an interesting conversation as you explore.
Yeah, I did. It was a little startling to hear that conversation. It was fun. For those of you who missed out on their prom now or in the past, join Jen for a virtual prom night to dance away your Friday night with glamour and some fun. They've announced a surprise guest for this Friday's event, so don't miss it.
Now, this week is the next meetup of the Virtual World Society hosted by Tom Furness here in AltSpace VR. Happens on Thursday. The guest speaker is Chris Stapleton. If you haven't heard the name, just know this. He is a pioneer in XR technology and entertainment. He is famous for his innovative work with Disney and the other theme parks around the world integrating VR and AR. He will be discussing that as well as his new work and research into memory issues using immersive technologies. He is the co-founder of the Virtual World Society, and you won't want to miss this amazing opportunity to discuss where VR and AR technologies are going in the future with two leaders of the XR research and development.
Honestly, the Virtual World Society, they are bringing, not only do we have Tom Furness, who was the inventor and the developer of virtual reality as we know it, but you would not have these headsets on your head if it wasn't for him and his innovative work that he did. But the work that Chris Stapleton, we had Ryan Daniels, who is a young whippersnapper of a high school student who is just changing the world of neuroscience in surgery and in development and tracing and research. And they've had amazing guest speakers, and Dawn and I have peeked at who's coming up. And oh my God, this is an opportunity to be with some of the greatest pioneers in VR and AR. So don't miss these every other week with the Virtual World Society. There are so many things to do here in AltSpace. So many people to meet, never a dull moment. So check out the events calendar and make sure that you mark an event as interested, so you'll receive an email an hour prior to the event and you won't miss a moment of the fun here in AltSpace VR. Donna, it's that time, as we do every week, and you set this up beautifully. So we want to it's time to ask questions of our audience. So I'm going to hit the raise hand button, and we have several people that are in the space too. So you are also able to hit the raise hand button. So if you're in with just a few people at the news and updates, that's the second room. And we want to talk about what we have been talking about today, about virtual worlds here in AltSpace. What do these virtual worlds mean to you? Are they fun places to explore? Donna?
Now, do you like finding interesting ones and sharing them with others? Do you find one and hang out in it often? Do you like building them? I hope that's what you meant me to do.
Yes. So we want to know, what are your thoughts on building here in AltSpace and virtual worlds? Ben, you're up.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
I've just been in here for a couple of seconds. I've heard what you've been doing, and it would be nice to experience different ways of this area, because I know it's nice to meet people. It's nice to meet nice people like you, and it's good. And yeah, I hope you improve it a lot more over the future. But at the minute, it's going great. So
Okay,
that's why I just
great.
wanted to say that to you.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. And I do hope you'll take time to explore all the different worlds that we've talked about that you missed earlier today in our meetup. But thank you and welcome. Glad you're here. Go explore. And improvements are going on. AltSpace is undergoing extensive remodeling right now.
Okay.
And so expect all kinds of fun things. Zeke, you're up.
So for me, I like going and exploring the world. If they're like a nice big world, I like to
Hmm.
teleport and explore every aspect or something. I have some creative ideas of what I can combine with, but the one thing I did notice, and I do have kind of a complaint, is that the featured worlds are always featuring the same world and
Yes.
not a lot of the great creations that
Mhm.
we're seeing all the time, like from when you guys present these. And I would like to see more of newer creations added each week. Like you can have like one or two popular, but have the
Mhm.
newer creations to spread out. Because right now
So,
it's been
yeah.
about a month, and all I'm seeing in the featured world is the same.
It's actually
So
been 3 months. And
3 months.
so what happened, just to let you know what happened, is that it was at the ability to, they put a limit on 20 featured worlds, and then
Yeah.
they added it to that list, and then COVID-19 happened. And
Mhm.
so the dev team and everybody are based in Seattle. So they had to self-isolate before most of the rest of North America and Europe. So they have been working from home, and that script to add those new worlds and the time that it takes to check out all those new worlds is one of the casualties of COVID-19. So the plan was that every 2 weeks that list would be changed. But right now, until they get back in their offices, which we're hoping is very soon, they were close to opening, but there's been a new outbreak. And so they're slowly shifting county by county in Washington State and in and around Seattle. So we're hoping that that'll be one of the first things that they fix. But this is a known issue, but it's one of the casualties of COVID-19. Some of these
Thank
people
you.
had like 2 hours notice before they were to race home and lock up. So they left all their servers, all their equipment and stuff behind. But yeah, that's a known thing. But I'm glad that you're exploring. Do check the popular list, see where people are hanging out, and also do a search on the website and find these interesting worlds and mark them as favorite. And then next time you come into AltSpace, you can go explore. Here's a little tip. Donna, tell us the tip about when you're searching worlds on the website and they come up with just a blue image. Should people go visit that world?
I don't know, Laurel, should they?
Oh,
I'm not sure what you're getting at.
All right, so when you do a search, like you type in water or alien or whatever keyword you want to search for, if the worlds come up and they have a blue image on them, where it says, Fred's World, the odds are there's nothing there because every single person who comes into AltSpace has a world created with their name on it, and it's made public. We wish they'd go in and have them made private, but do know that when you are searching and you see no image there, it often, doesn't always, but it often means that there's nothing there and you just end up in an empty space. So look for ones that do have an image, and if you've built a world, make sure those images get up there so that people know for sure that there's a good world worth there, and have fun with the search and favorite them and go exploring. It's wonderful.
Yeah. And make sure to favorite them. It
Mhm.
can be hard in the inside a headset to find worlds. It can be, we understand that. Go to the website and favorite things. The other thing is, as long as one person, just you, as long as you visit a world, it shows up on popular. And you'll find if you go into a world and just hang out there for a little bit, people are going to start to join you. And that's because you showed up on popular. And a lot of people rely on the popular tab for their daily adventures. So if you have a world you love, go stay in there for a while. And that will be one way of getting other people to see it, because people will come and join you. And the other thing is world hopping. And we just have a blast. Ivan and I just have a blast after 101, taking people on a mini world hopping tour. So we usually only in the time we only get to 3 worlds. But if you guys get a group of people together, go to the campfire and just say, I'm going world hopping. And you're going to get a group of people. And you can easily spend an hour and you can get to so many worlds. worlds, and you could do things like, okay, everybody gets to pick one world off their favorite, right? So now you get to see worlds that other people have favorited, and that expands your base of worlds that you visited and that you could share with other people. But I have to say, one of the most rewarding things is go to the campfire, find people who are new to AltSpace, and just blow their minds with some of the worlds, even the ones we talked about today, or your favorites, right? There's just so much fun to be had.
Yeah. So Trevor, you're up. Oh, Trevor disappeared off the list. All right. So, Mark, could you make sure that Trevor has megaphone turned off? Gerard, Miguel Otto. Gerard, you have a comment about world building? Hi.
Duduk ni. Hi, oh yeah. Duduk ni.
Okay, do you have something to add about world building? Okay, guess not. All right, there. Okay, Steve G, you're up.
Hi there, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Thanks. There's some great worlds out there, and I'm looking forward to getting involved with some building myself. But even with people there, they can feel a bit empty and sterile. What's the long-term plans?
Of what?
What do you want to do with the worlds?
I don't know what you mean by empty and sterile. Don't run. Oops, you just can you hit the raise hand button so I could get a little clarity? Thank you. Okay. Let me make sure that you're back on megaphone. Okay, so what
You
did
can
you
hear
mean
me?
by?
Okay.
Yes, I can. So what did you mean by empty and sterile?
They look great, but there's nothing to do in them.
Well, in some worlds
You
there are.
can't. Yeah, okay. Perhaps I haven't explored enough. It's just
Yeah.
so. In a general question, what does AltSpace VR want to do with worlds created by their users? What's your plan for them?
Well, if I worked for AltSpace, I'd be able to tell you, but I don't
Good
know.
point. Good point.
So
My
we've-
apologies.
Yeah,
That's okay.
yeah, that's okay. So AltSpace VR allows users to build worlds for creativity, for inspiration, for creating safe spaces and fun places, for exploring their imagination, and for hosting events. So this is a social and events platform, and so the worlds often inspire adventure and
Yeah.
things. So Daisy Shaw, I'd love to have your opinion on why you build worlds to help answer that question. So if you want to hit that raise hand button, maybe we can help answer that question for Steve. So Daisy, you want to take that one?
Oh, hello.
Mm-hmm.
Why I build worlds? Well, aside from it being totally massively fun, I started off building worlds that I wanted to spend time in, and the fact that other people enjoy being in them is just a fantastic bonus to me. And me and all my fellow world builders feel the same. It's just amazing to have people coming and having fun in your world. And there's loads of things to do. When you start making friends, it's great to hang out in the worlds. The events are fantastic, but the worlds are where people hang out. And I've made a golf world where you can go and have a round of golf with your friends. I haven't got a computer, I just build on the headset, so you can do the same and get the same type of it that I have.
I think one of the things you said, Daisy, is really, it's great. And it's one of the things that's not being a world builder, but something that I do, is when you just want to have a conversation with, you want to spend time with somebody. You want to spend time with somebody somewhere. The campfire can be, the info zone can be a gong show. The campfire can be really busy. You want to go somewhere else. So what you do is you just hit your favorites and you go and just experience, like Laurel mentioned about the hot springs for Mr. Prime, or going golfing with Daisy Shaw. Experience the marine world. I'm not going to break the secret in case you haven't been there, but there's a secret room you should find, and it's just great places to meet up and have conversations. So sometimes we want to do things with people. We want to go dancing. We want to listen to music, but sometimes we just want to have that conversation, and we need to have that conversation somewhere. And these worlds just give us a perfect atmosphere to go have a conversation.
Absolutely. And this is a social and events platform. And so the key is, as Daisy so beautifully said, is it's about the social and that connecting with people and the relationships that are built. And I think worlds do that, but I'd love to hear it from other people. So thanks, Daisy and Diamond. You're up.
Okay, great conversation,
Mhm.
especially this week. But worlds, for me, have been my safe place in this time that we've been
Mhm.
quarantined. I built a world that was mine, and it was a beach, and I had music, and I had the things that mean a lot to me. So during some of these days when I couldn't get outside, and I usually go to the beach like at least twice a year, I could go and I could sit on the beach and just pretend. Um, and then a lot of times we do go world hopping at night. Some of the worlds are like an aerobic exercise for me just in my head because Karen's worlds have you climb and you go through mazes and you do things that I feel like I'm achieving something when I get to the other end. And then the beautiful worlds that people have done that make you think, how did they do this? And how did they think of this stuff? And so it encourages you to just get out of your box. The other thing, they had an egg hunt this year, and a little friend of mine who's in alt space, she and I spent an obscene amount of time hunting for eggs.
Love it.
And I didn't care if I ever saw a piece of bamboo in my lifetime because we were hunting everywhere. But it's those types of things that I'm 68, and I would have never had the opportunity to do this stuff another time in my life. So I understand the questions, but it just let it happen. It's that time in
Yay.
your life. Thanks,
I
Roy.
love it. Thank you, Diamond. Karen. Karen?
Yes.
Yes. It's your turn. It's your turn, Karen. Go for it. Uh-oh. Did we lose Karen? Donna, do you hear Karen?
I don't.
Oh, Karen, we've lost audio. You were there for a second. So let me know when you get audio back on. Darren, hey, friend.
Oh, just a quick question.
Mhm.
Since the Spirit Cave was taken out, are they going to replace it with something else?
I don't know.
All right,
It
that's
was
it.
a user-driven
Yeah.
world, and so
Yeah,
the question is whether somebody else will create it. Yep. Mhm.
Yeah, it was user generated and user kit, so we don't know. We don't
Okay.
know. All right, sorry, thanks. Okay, Karen's back. Hopefully we're going to hear you now. Let's try it again, Karen.
Okay, I don't know what happened with the
Yay!
audio. Sorry
I don't
about
know.
that.
That's fine.
I took myself off the list because so many other people said it so beautifully. But in answer to Steve's question, basically what I wanted to say is the whole thing about visiting worlds, other than the fact that they are awesome, is that you go with other people and you have a good time with other people, and you become, if you're an
Mhm.
adult, you become a little kid again. And the other thing I wanted to say is that to all of you who do go world hopping and who do have a group of friends, if somebody pops in there, just include them in your group, because
Mm.
it doesn't feel good when you're in a group of people and you're the person coming in and you feel excluded. So just be sure to click on them and welcome them into your group.
Excellent advice. Oh, love
And
that.
it's a
That
great
is
way of
beautiful.
meeting people that you might not have met any other way, right? And there's so many people to meet in alt space.
There is. Noah, opinions on world building?
Hello.
Hi.
Well, I was wondering, like, when I'm doing world building, I'm always wondering, how do I do stage blocker and create these stages for stuff I want to build?
Well,
Like, I'm always wondering those
this
questions.
isn't a how to build worlds. This is why we build worlds discussion. The stage
Well,
blocker are
I
designed
build-
for event worlds, and you just click the events tool and add them.
Well, I build my worlds to help out other people during these times for other people.
Excellent.
That's awesome, Noah. And
That's
there's lots of
wonderful.
places that you can find the answer to the question that you just had. So the World Builder meetup that happens earlier in the day on Saturday, the World showcase tours that we talked about that happened on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, different times of the week. Daisy has often put on World Builder events where you can ask questions like that. So make sure you check the calendar for those events, because that's where you're going to find the answer, where someone can help you with those problems that you're having and to explore new things.
Absolutely. What she said was what I was going to say. That's beautiful. There's some, and also look around at community helpers. If you find someone with a green border around their name tag, they often build worlds. Not all of them, but many of them do, and they also host events. So just check in with them, and they'll be able to help you too. Birdie BB, you have a comment about world building?
Can you hear me?
Very distantly.
Okay. I do not have a VR headset. This is the first time I've ever heard of this application or game, and I'm so excited about it. My sister, she lives on the other side of the country, and she kind of poked into it the other day because she has a VR headset, and the fact that you can build worlds and explore them, I'm so excited to do both. I am kind of curious, I don't know if this is a place to ask this or not, but can you build worlds with someone else, or do you just do it alone and then other people come?
Oh, great question. So first of all, welcome. You found an amazing place, an incredible community. And I just spent this morning building worlds with Mark. Yes, you can build. I've built with up to 12 or 14 people. It's hard to do it at the same time, but you can do it. I love it. I love it. Working with Collaborative Worlds. Donna is helping Mark and I do some world building this afternoon. It is really fun. There's a few little fussy things you have to make sure don't touch other people's stuff, just like in the real world. But there's actually coding issues that can happen with that. But it is great fun. And often I have spent with some of the people that I build worlds with. We will just spend suddenly an hour will pass. And we haven't even said anything, but there's just that, that comfortness, when you're comfortable, you just hang with somebody, and if somebody wants to talk, they talk. Sometimes I'm with one of my friends, we're building worlds, and they'll just, ramble on and start telling life stories or just funny things or sharing, but there's no pressure. But it's really fun also when you're trying to do something that pushes the boundaries. I swear Mark has got calluses in his ears because both of us and we just ignore each other. We're like old, when you're really working with somebody, it's like being with an old married couple. When you're working with the right people, you just work in this weird kind of harmony, and it's a beautiful thing. So yeah, I really love world building, and AltSpace often has community projects here in AltSpace to allow people to build in teams with collaborative things and competitions. We often do parades and special events. We did Earth Day, we've done holiday parades, all kinds of events where you get to build worlds with people and then they're showcased. So this has been an incredible, yay! Well, thank you. This has been an amazing conversation with all of you all. We've run out of time. We can talk about this after the event as well. So, and I love these insights, we just talking about what goes into it. And just as Donna said, when I build worlds, I build them for other people. Just as Daisy said as well, I build for other people. And when people come in and go, oh, wow, this is so cool, it just fills my heart. And that is a good reason. We can build for ourselves, we can build for others, we can build for events. So many things to do, and we just love it here. All right, so that is all. Thank you all so much. That is all for this week's news and updates. Remember, the conversation does not stop here in AltSpace. Discord is our home base for our community outside of AltSpace, and we invite you all to join the news and updates Discord and keep up with all the news and activities here and around the VR industry.
Now, we live stream the news onto YouTube every week, and you can catch up with past episodes to learn more about how AltSpace VRs work and what's going on in the community. We've also added the AltSpace VR announcements feed to our news and updates Discord server, so you won't miss a minute of the news.
And we are here to keep you updated on the news in AltSpace, so please tell a friend. Share our Discord and YouTube channel so that others can keep up with the news here and around Altspace.
And just like in our real life communities, one of the amazing things is to volunteer. It's a great way to connect with people, get to know people, be part of fun activities. So if you'd like to volunteer to help us out, we would love it. We can do this. We only need your help. We need people to help film, live stream. Okay, I hear the music and I'm just going to say, please come and talk to us if you want to volunteer.
Oh, you're hearing the music, but I haven't hit it yet. Okay, so we need all the writers and the editors and moderators. So hang around. We're going to answer questions right after the news. We'll stick around for a little while to chat with you. We do have some other things that we need to get going, so let's get the chatting down pretty quick. And thank you to all of our volunteers and support people, our moderators that help make this event such a success. Be safe wherever you are in the world, and we are so glad you have been with us. Thank you, everybody. Now the music's playing.